What's up, everybody? This is the Swinging Bull with PB Alerts, and today we're going to do a little bit of market recap and go over some trading tips. Right now, I'm watching the SPY. It's been quite a day today. This morning with the SPY, we actually sold off a little bit in the pre-market from 411 down to about 410. There was a little bit of a gap down there. Not really a lot of volume from, I'd say, about ever since we had that gap down from 4 a.m. Eastern to about 7 o'clock in the morning. Wasn't much volume, as you can see from the way these candles are being plotted out on the chart here. And then as we got close to the opening bell, the volume picked up again. And then, of course, after opening bell, we ran from 407 all the way up to 413. So that's about a $6.5 move right there on SPY. And go ahead and turn on my VWAP so we can see where the weighted average price is. Okay, so we do have the price action above the VWAP. So we ran this morning about $6.5 from opening bell all the way to 1050. So almost about an hour and a half, hour and 20 minutes into market opening. We ran the 413.65. And then we started selling off back down to VWAP, bounced off VWAP around lunchtime, about an hour ago. Then we kind of fell below VWAP for a short period of time. And then we reclaimed that. And we also reclaimed all the moving averages, the 9-day, which is this blue line. And then we have the 20-day, which is this green line. Might need to make these lines a little bit bigger for the next, or brighter for the next video. But as you can see, the price action is above VWAP and all these moving averages here. So SPY's trying to run some more here. Let me fix this level here. It's going to be probably a demand zone there. Let me unlock this, move this up there. Go ahead and lock it again. And this other line is from yesterday, I believe. Yep, that was a previous high from yesterday of 413.87. So SPY keeps running here. We definitely need to break through this 413.20 area. And then the next level I see on SPY is going to be this 413.82 area. For anyone that's listening, feel free to type anything you want into free live stream chat, and I'd be happy to answer all your questions. But basically just been day trading SPY. We did some calls in the morning, and we did some puts around lunchtime that we got some good gains on. I actually have a different chart of SPY pulled up here with the volume profile. This helps me a lot here to let me know where the volume is actually at with SPY here. So this is the volume profile on Thinkorswim. As you can see, we got lots of volume right around this area, right below this red control point line, and then a little bit above it. So right above this control point line, right below it, this is where lots of volume has been occurring throughout the day. And it makes sense because when we since opening bell, SPY started running up, and of course you see this nice run here on SPY. Now this indicator that makes my candles red and blue, this is called the TTM indicator on Thinkorswim. So I like using that. It gives me a better idea of the trend there. But that's why a lot of this volume is all right in the middle here, because of course the volume poured in during this run. And then as soon as we had a little bit of a pullback here to VWAP, this is where tons of volume started coming in. And you can see that from this volume profile here. This is where, so this is, for the rest of today, it might be a little tough for SPY to get below this. It's probably about 412, 411.90 something, around 412. It probably could be like 412 down to 411. So 411 to 412. This is a lot of people bought into SPY in this price range here. So this is the area we're looking at here, 411 to 412. So now that we got that info off of our Thinkorswim using our indicators here. Go back to Webull here, and what we can do is I'm going to draw um, a demand zone here from 411. Let's just do this. Yeah, let's go 411 to about 412. Yeah, this should be good here. So this area here is going to be tough for SPY to break through this. So we could run for the rest of the day, even if it moves sideways for the rest of the day. This 411 to 412 area is going to be a hard area to break down. Okay, and that's because all this volume here in that area came in on the volume profile. So we know from using these indicators where the volumes came in pretty good there. So 411, 412, that's the area I'm looking for the rest of the day. If we do see a pullback to this rectangle here, I could probably do a starter position and maybe some call options for a day trade only. So I'm not going to rush into any trade. I'm not going to get into calls right now because I do want it to see it pull back to this demand zone that we already know exists from this fancy volume profile on Thinkorswim. We already know 411 to 412 buyers are going to step in because that's what they already did today. So I'm going to keep my eye on SPY. Again, I'm not going to chase any call options because we're above the demand zone. If we hit our head here on 413.25 area, this is where we could possibly see the pullback to our demand zone, and then this is where I'll be entering calls if the opportunity, if it happens that way. If it doesn't happen that way, well, I'm just gonna sit tight. I'm not gonna jump into anything. There could be a put opportunity. I think we got the high of the day from earlier today was 413.65. Now the high of the previous high from the previous trading session was 413.83, and I'll just come over and zoom in, and now that's not the previous high of the entire previous trading day. It's just the previous high yesterday afternoon before the market closed. It's right here. Okay, 413.80, 80-ish area. So there could be an opportunity for puts. As you can see, it's gonna try and test this area here at 413.22. If we can break through that, and if we end up hitting our head on this 413.83, and I see a red confirmation candle, we could do put options and possibly play those either back down to this other level here. But it looks like it's having a hard time even breaking this 413.23. And we got that level from today. Okay, this was the previous level around 11 a.m. to 11:17 a.m. Eastern today, formed this little level here. So it looks like it is having a hard time getting through that level. Okay, and we're even seeing a pretty good rejection here. Now let's see if the price action can stay above the 9-day moving average and the 20-day moving average. It's selling off right now. If we do get a pullback, I necessarily, to be able to do calls, I don't necessarily want it to go into this rectangle. To be honest with you, with the price action I'm seeing right here, if we get a pullback to between this 20 moving average and 50 moving average, like right around here, I could possibly maybe go calls on that. But it looks like it's really liking this 9-day moving average right here. So we hit our head on this 413.23. It sold off back to the 9-day moving average, and here we are. Buyers are stepping back in. So let's see if we can break this 413.23. And if we do, the next level to watch is going to be this 413.83. Okay, so we can go back to Thinkorswim, see what this chart is doing. And it's interesting that it did hit its head on this 413.23. If we go back to Thinkorswim and we go to this 413.23 area, look at the volume profile. We got lots of volume was pushed out here on this indicator. So this is exactly where it hit its head on. Now, me personally, if it did get past this, the next area of resistance would probably be like this 413, 413.97, maybe up to 414.50. We do have some volume that came in this area, and that's probably going to be from earlier. Yeah, this is going to be from yesterday's area. So that's what I like about this volume profile. Is it gives you the volume for multiple days. Um, but it's very, very interesting how it just hit its head on this 413.23, and sure enough, this volume profile had lots of volume around that area in the previous price action. So that's just something to look at there. We can look at some internals here. This is another indicator I like using. It's the SPY. It's basically the S&P mood indicator, and it gives you a lot of the internals. It says kind of what stage we're in right now. It says we're in an accumulation stage. The mood overall is bullish at 53%. Now, if this bullish mood value right here is below 50%, it'll go into a neutral mood. But if it's above 50%, then we get bullish. And of course, it can go 100% bullish if it wants to. And then it can give us some trade ideas, like some option iron condor stuff is what's being recommended. Now, we just got it just went away, but we did just get a ding, which was a caution that the internals were diverging from the, the price was diverging from the internals. So that could be a sign of a reversal here. So I like looking at this stuff there. Does anyone have any questions? Doesn't look like we have any questions right now. It's about 1:15. I do also like looking at the let's look at the heat map, see what's going on today. Go ahead and refresh this here, and let's take a look. So it looks like we kind of got a mixed bag here. SPY is up 0.33% for the day, so we are seeing a little bit more green than red, but we do still have some red. Walmart's down 2.2%. Amazon's down 2.5%. Amazon just did their forward split, so there's some selling going on there. Let me go to Amazon's chart and we can take a look at it. Here it is down here at the bottom. So yeah, Amazon did their forward split yesterday, and let's see here. Yeah, the chart's not even really. It's kind of hard to see the chart here. We look at the 1 minute. I'll go to the 4 hour. So as you can see, of course, we were in $22,400 per share. Then they did the forward split, and we ended up way down here because they added more shares to their float to be able to reduce the price. To I guess make it more affordable. The things that are going to be more affordable with Amazon, because even when it was $2,400. Most brokers allow fractional shares, so anyone could have still bought it, but it does make the actual price look more appealing. Being $122 now, it just looks a lot more appealing than it being $2,400. But I think the biggest change for this in the Amazon stock for this forward split is going to be the options. The options are now going to be a lot more affordable. So I think we're going to see a jump in the option volume because they're a lot more affordable. The underlying stock is a lot more cheaper, which makes the options contracts cheaper. Silent Killer asks, do we have any lottos? Let's take a look. I'll definitely take a look for you. Let me just go through some of the alert channels here because I do think there should be some lottos out. Let me just double check, and then we can go over some of those. Okay, let's see. Okay, looks like Mr. Stock Lock Profit, he did have a lotto yesterday, but looks like that play is already over. Doesn't look like we have any current lotto plays open right now, but I will keep my eye out for any opportunities for some possible lottos. Let's see. Looks like James Legend. Okay, this was last week though. So yeah, we don't have any open lottos out right now, but keep your eye on the premium options section, either options by Legends, options by Amy, or options by Lee. And also Taylor, she puts out some lottos as well. She does some credit spread lottos here and there. But keep your eye on those alert channels, because I'm sure, typically they like alerting the lottos a little bit later in the day. So it's about almost 1:20 p.m. Eastern now. So keep your eye out, maybe in the next 30 minutes to an hour, we could have a lotto get alerted, and we'll definitely share that with everyone once it does get alerted. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, another thing I was looking at was the oil. Oil's been trending up again today. Let's go to the daily chart. Oh yeah, look at the daily chart on Oxy. I mean, just amazing bull run on oil this whole year. And I think there's still some left in the tank on these oil runs. Silent Killer, did you have any questions other than some lottos? Let me see who has earnings, and maybe we can get a lotto going for us here. Let me look up earnings. Earnings this week. Okay, let's see. Go to the earnings calendar. I'll actually pull this up so everyone can see it. I'll go ahead and accept that. Okay, so this is going to be this week for earnings. Look, we got Smucker. They're reporting. Okay, they might have already reported though, because nope. Let me see. SJM. Smucker. There's really not a lot of volume on this, so let's see. Yeah, they have not reported yet. Let's see if we see any other familiar names. Dave and Buster's, that might be a good lotto. Let me look up play. Okay. Okay, they already reported earnings. Let's see who has earnings tomorrow. That way we know. Okay, we got, let's see, some branch of Coca-Cola there. Five Below. Isn't Five Below a retail company? That might be a good one. Maybe a put lotto on that. Let's see. They have earnings tomorrow. Yeah, this is a retailer. Five Below. They got earnings tomorrow. This might be a good lotto here. Let's see. Could probably do the June 17th expiration date to have a little bit of time on it. They're trading at 132 now, so I kind of like this play. Let's I might do a lotto on Five Below here. Let me look at their this chart on one thing here. Let's see, 5. Okay, we'll go to the option chain, like June 17th. They're at 132. Another thing I like to look at, Silent Killer, and I'll show you here. There's a website I like going to check about history of earnings. It's called tipranks.com. So let's go ahead and type 5 in here. There it is right there, Five Below. Now, it is as 8 analysts saying strong buy, but let's look at their history here. They didn't really beat their earnings quarter 4. It was kind of flat. Their estimated EPS was 248, and they reported 249. So not really a change there. It doesn't really look like they've ever really, smashed earnings in a good way, right? So let's see. Yeah, look at this. The last time they reported earnings on March 29th, the underlying stock lost 6.5% the very next day. Okay, so this is interesting. November 30th, they were up 5% the next day. August 31st of last year, they reported earnings and dropped 13% the next day. And I just think with retailers kind of getting hit hard right now. Of course, Walmart and Target, and they all took quite a beating. Um, Five might follow suit. I'm not going to actually, Silent Killer, I'm not going to alert this in any alert channels, but I'm going to actually play a put on Five, and it'll just be between me and you and whoever's listening to the stream on YouTube, because it looks like we got quite a few people watching on YouTube right now. So anyways, let me pull back up the option chain. And for Lotto, we don't really want to spend a lot. And to be honest with you, I'd be happy with the June 10th, because that way the options are going to be a lot cheaper, so to speak. So for Lotto, let's see what has a lot of there's a lot of open interest on this 115 put here, compared to the option chain in general. We got 202 open interest. We do have a lot of volume, compared to the other strike prices here. We got 80 volume and 202 open interest. I wish it was a little bit higher, to be honest. But let me go back to June 17th and see if we got something. Yeah, not really a lot of open interest and volume. Let's see. Yeah, I'm personally going to go with the June 10th, and I'll probably go with this, probably the 115. The spread's a little wide, $85 to $1.05. Oh wait, that was the last. I'm sorry, $85 to 120. So maybe try and get filled around $1. It'll be $100 lotto, and then if Five ends up dropping tomorrow after earnings, that should play out pretty good there. So that could be a good example for a lotto there. The one thing that does bother me though, Silent Killer, is the width of the spread here. Okay, it's kind of tightening up a little bit. So $1 to 120, maybe try and get filled at 110, and I would just buy one contract. Don't overdo it on the lottos, of course. But the spreads are really wide. Just be careful of that. Since this one has 80 volume and the most open interest, it's not as wide. Like, look at this 114 put. It's $45 to $1.45. That spread is just too huge. You don't want to play that. Best bet would be the 115 if you're interested in Five. We could try and find some other ones that might have a tighter spread. Let's see here. So Five wouldn't be bad. Just keep your eye on the spread. Let's see what else we got here. Oxford got a bunch of energy corps, but that energy's been on a tear. We don't see a therapeutics company, SRNE, software company. Was this Best Buy? No, that's not Best Buy. Best Buy is BBY, I think. Okay. It's got a pharmaceutical company here. Yeah, I'd say out of all the earnings that we have tomorrow, I'd say Five would be the best bet. We could look at some energy companies and maybe do calls on them because we know they're going to have good earnings. I thought I saw an energy company. Let's see here. Energy, where did I see that energy company? Here it is, Uranium Energy, UEC. Let's see what UEC looks like. UEC. Okay, they've got some volume today. They're trading at $3.83. UEC. Okay. Let's see what their options look like. Okay, so they do have June 17 option. UEC, let's take a look at, see what they've done in the past. Yeah, their earnings have not been great lately. Let's see what they've moved. It's so funny. Their earnings Their earnings are not good, but that's why I like tip ranks, because maybe they had good guidance or something. Because as you can see, they reported earnings, their last earnings on March 16th. The very next day, they were up 17%. December 14th, they're up 10%. October 27th, they're up 2%. UEC for calls. That might be the one. Let's see what their spreads are. So call option, June 17th. Lots of volume on this $4 call. And look how cheap it is. Yeah, silent killer. I like this one better. Call option on UEC expired June 17th, the $4 call. Look at all this volume, 567 volume. You can pick up a contract right now for 15 or 20 bucks. Maybe buy a couple of them. I try not to spend more than $100 on these lottos. So when they're this cheap, I might pick up 4 or 5 of them. And but I'm really liking 567 volume, open interest 9,200. That's pretty nice. The IV is a little bit high, but that's because we got the earnings coming up. So I wouldn't mind. I like this one, Silent Killer. UEC $4 call, June 17th, and they got earnings tomorrow. So right here, UEC. Yep, I like that one. They're reporting Wednesday, June 8th. Wednesday, June 8th. Let me see. There it is right here. Earnings date. Yep, scheduled for tomorrow. Now, it doesn't tell me whether it's pre-market or aftermarket, but doesn't really matter. Yeah, so I like this for a lotto. UEC $4 call. They're very cheap. You can buy a handful of them and see how their earnings are tomorrow. But it's about 1:30. It's been about 30 minutes. I know everyone wants to get back to trading and get back to the trading floor. So I'm going to go ahead and end this stream. And if you guys have any questions later, feel free to shoot me a DM. Okay, I do have a question coming from YouTube here. What do you consider a wide spread? Okay, so that's a good question. We can actually go back to the 5 chart here and go to this options chain. And this was from Britch017 from YouTube. Wants to know what I consider a wide spread. So a wide spread, you're just going to look at the bid and the ask. And I'd say if there is a 10 to 20%, I'd say 20% or more. If it's 20% difference, so let's just pull some numbers out of the air. If the bid was trading, I know it says $1.05, but let's just say it was $1 and the ask was $1.20. Anything wider than that is going to be probably too wide for my liking. I like it to be much closer, like within 5% of each other. Okay. So, and I know the lower we get, the higher the percentage. So like, even if we go down the chain a little bit, like, even if it was like 45 to 55, that wouldn't be wide. It would just seem wide percentage wise because the number's lower. But I'd say you just got to look at the bid and ask, and if it's off by a lot, that's going to be wide. Like, look at this one, $65 to $1.45, way too wide. If it's around the dollar mark, I'd like to see it between a dollar and $1.20 max. So maybe like a $20 difference. That would be probably the most wide I would want to go. Preferably, I'd like to see $1 and $1.10. Then you can get filled at 105. But that's my opinion on what a super wide spread would be. Like something like this 111 put $20 to $90. That's way too wide. That's way too wide. We need them to be a lot tighter than that. So I hope that answered your question, Bridge017. Doesn't look like we have any more questions. But again, if you guys have any questions later, feel free to shoot me a direct message and I'll get back to you guys right away. And other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much.